Hello friends. Right now a lot of people are doing a retrospective look, a looking back upon this past year of the pandemic. It's been 12 months, a bit more, and so people, looking back. What's happened? What's happened to us? And, certainly as a church we can go, what's happened to us as a community of faith, a community of parishes within a diocese. And that brings me to want to speak then in a particular way and with much gratitude for the Good Shepherd campaign. At the beginning of this pandemic, one could see looming because of the lockdowns, because of the loss of employment and all of that there would be shortfalls in parish revenue and therefore obviously in diocesan revenue. And we took the decision that we would continue. No doors were going to be closed. We weren't going to lay off people. We asked parishes not to lay off people. We asked and decided that no, we will continue with the services and the supports that we have come to build up, and that at every level. So that meant, of course, having to think, okay, but how are we going to finance? How are we going to finance this? And so the campaign, the Good Shepherd campaign. Now, I have to say that before money, our decision to continue the service, the level of service, shifted, because it shifted in terms of, providing live stream masses so that the community could still gather at a distance to pray together. And that actually sparked the desire in a lot of parishes to do it for their own community. And people really enjoyed that. There was a decision, of course, obviously, right from the beginning to help parishes navigate, the public health measures and how do you do things, what's expected, what's absolutely necessary. We also knew that we had to help the parishes in their communication with their parishioners. We had to increase our communication to the parishes in virtual ways, but also helping the parishes to communicate with their parishioners, for sure. And, to continue the efforts in terms of support of marriage and family life, or to continue in a new way, but truly supporting what could be done for catechism in the parishes. I'm thinking of the Respect for Life message that continued, March for Life in a virtual way. All aspects to continue. The First Nations communities in the north, that they would continue to have the priests and the sisters and what is needed for that community's life. So the whole gamut of diocesan services. We knew that there was going to be a shortfall in the parishes. It was very worrisome. So we took measures such as reducing the diocesan tax from 20% to 10% for most of that year, 15% at a certain time, and the reduction to 15% continues. The parish's contribution to the priest pension fund, we put that in abeyance for a year. There was other sources that could for a year carry that. But all of that, of course, means a lack of revenue for the diocese. And so what we did is approach the Good Shepherd campaign from that sense, continuing to help the seminarians in their formation, but also helping the diocese in its shortfalls. And so we dared to ask to put forth the same goal as we had asked the year before and had been successful in, which was 275,000. We thought, well, we'll give it a try. Well, praise be Jesus. Now at the end of the financial exercise of the Good Shepherd campaign for this past year, we see that we've been able to collect about 390,000, so 115,000 more than the goal. So what that means is people have really stepped forward. There's been about the same number of donors. There's been some new donors, and then some donors who gave in the past who weren't able, really understandable, unemployment and all of that. And also another thing was the average of the gifts were larger, substantially larger than last year in terms of the average of the gifts. It's like people who said, well, it's a tough time, but this is important, and maybe I am in a position to actually give more than last year. And so many did that. Thank you so much. The religious congregations, the sisters, increased their gifts. They've always been so generous, but again, they also increased their gifts. So thank you so much. And with that, then we were able to make the year. And as I would sometimes share with Richard Frechette, our financial administrator, you know what? The wolf's not at the door. The wolf's not at the door. For sure, the subsidies from the government and us helping the parishes to apply for those subsidies, that's made a huge difference. But this Good Shepherd campaign this year to help the diocese to continue drawing people together and enabling people in their parishes to do what should be done at this time for the love of God and the love of neighbor. So, and you've also, in so many ways, supported community efforts within your villages, here in the city, social justice efforts for the poor. I'm thinking, amongst other things, of development and peace. You continue to support development and peace. They're coming up to the Share Lent Sunday soon. But really, fear did not take over. Courage, generosity, initiative, creativity, a sense of solidarity remained. And I mean, the Good Shepherd campaign, that's really a sign of solidarity and faith, solidarity in the life of the Church here. So once again, thank you very, very much.